Hey guys, welcome back to Sevenfold Farm. So today I'm going to be telling you exactly what happened with this cottonmouth in with our baby chicks, eating them. So first though, if you have not watched the videos on our baby chicks already, our 100 meat birds, go ahead and go find that video. It's kind of crazy what happens. We're missing a bunch of chicks when we get them, and it's kind of a whole long ordeal. But go ahead and go watch that video. So anyway, about the cottonmouth. We went down to the barn to go do some chores, and I was inside the barn, and I just heard the chicks kind of going crazy. And they're normally pretty loud, but not as loud as they were. They were squawking and kind of sounding crazed and distressed. And so I was like, oh, I'll go look in on them. So I just kind of peek in, and right as I look in, I just see the tail and a little bit of the body of this big snake crawling through an opening, a small crack at the back wall that leads to the inside, the rest of the barn. So, I hate snakes, and so Miles was down there with me, and so I was like, Miles, there's a huge snake. And so he's like superhero with his huge machete and like comes running out of nowhere with it, and I'm like, anyway, so, long story short, we tear the barn apart because where the snake is covered in like T-posts and stuff, and so of course he goes to the one area that's super hard to get to. So we get this all pulled back, we chase him out into the middle of the barn where he crawls into this live well. And the whole time that we've been kind of trying to find him had been a bit strange because we were pretty convinced that he was just a black snake, like a rat snake, which is pretty common on our property. But he had been like super aggressive, like striking at us, and when we were trying to pull him out with like a pitchfork and stuff, he was just kind of crazy. So anyway, we get him and he goes inside that live well. So we drag him outside so it'll be easier to just kill him, because we wanted to go ahead and kill him because we were pretty sure he'd eaten a chick, and he was in our barn, and so you just don't want snakes living in your barn. And if he remembered that there was a vast meal there, then he was going to come back. So anyway, we get him outside and we dump him out of this live well, and perfect timing, Dad comes home from work and is able to kill him because I wasn't going anywhere near him, and Miles was doing his best, but we just decided to let Dad do it because at that point we were kind of thinking that maybe he was a poisonous snake and not a rat snake. We weren't sure what kind of poisonous snake. He had kind of a pointed head that came to a point, which is an indicator that the snake would be poisonous, and then he also just like would rattle his tail a lot. He was real aggressive. So we're like, oh, maybe he's, I don't know. We didn't know what it was. We thought he was just some type of poisonous snake. So we kill him, and he is bigger than we realized. He's like 5.5 feet long, feet long, I don't know. And he's he's huge. And he's super thick, and he kind of starts to have this like red on his body that we hadn't noticed before. It wasn't blood, it's just like red scales or whatever. Gross. And so Brinkley comes out with our little handy dandy snake pamphlet booklet thing, and we're looking at kind of the snakes we think he might be, and we are like 99% sure that it is a cottonmouth because after it was dead, we looked at its mouth and it had fangs, so obviously it's poisonous. And then there's also the indicator that they only had one row of scales on the bottom of its belly. Non-poisonous would have like 2 going down, poisonous would just have 1. So he had that, so he was definitely poisonous. And then out of all the pictures in that book, he looked the most like a cottonmouth. So yeah, kind of sad for that little chick because he probably didn't know what hit him. He just got eaten alive. So anyway, so after we had killed the snake and everything and found out that it was probably a cottonmouth, I was thinking, and I was realizing that that's kind of relates to our life because sin comes disguised like that cottonmouth did, and we thought it was just a black snake. But then once we looked closer at it and examined it more and used that snake pamphlet and that little booklet, we realized that it was actually poisonous, and if it had bitten one of us, we probably would have had to go to the hospital. So that is how sin is, because sin will come disguised to you as something that will not harm you, that'll be just fine. If, all your friends are doing it or something, when in reality it will harm you in the end, and it's not good. And the Bible is like what that snake pamphlet is. It's like the manual for life. It has everything that you need to know in it, and God gives you this manual for life. So John 10:10 kind of goes along with this, and it says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy, but I have come that I may give you life and give it more abundantly." And then verse 11 says, "And I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep." And so that's talking about the thief is the devil. He comes to steal your joy and your happiness and your faith in God, pretty much. But God, it says, is He's the good shepherd, and He wants to help lead you, and He will lay down His life for His sheep, His flock, His people, which is Christians, and everyone who puts their trust in Him. And He did lay down His life. He died on the cross for you, and He forgives your sins if you ask Him to, and He'll come into your heart. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit that like button, and we will see you guys next time on Sevenfold Farm. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.